Welcome, you NRL fans. It's Dan and Luke from Daft Previews here to preview the State of Origin 2 and round 17 of the NRL. Today's episode is brought to you by Carlton Dry.
CD.
Drink it on a school night. We're not sponsored. But if you're looking
Monday.
out, fucking send away ultra smooth low carb beer. Luke, how you doing, lad?
Good.
I heard
Feeling better
you
this
potentially had influenza B.
Yeah, just the B this time. Battled away, but I'm back. I'm alive. That's the main thing, obviously. I thought you were a VB drinker as well.
Oh, I am.
Okay.
I just I was like really I fall into these phases where I just start hanging for like those chili kettle chips.
Yeah, they're always on special, by the way. That's another theory that I have.
When they're on
But-
special, I just go crazy on them, and they go so well with beer because they're a bit spicy. So you got to drink with them. So I was like, get me whatever beers are on special, and Carlton Dry's had a bit of a deal going, so jump straight in. Huncho, Lockie, welcome, you sexy pricks. Huncho's Huncho, let me know in the chat. Are you a fellow Queensland supporter living in New South Wales? I've got the vibes that you are, mate, and we got to stick together. So, but yeah, let me know. I am a VB drinker. That is my weapon of choice, but money's tight these days, so you get whatever's on special.
Inflation, mate. It's all inflation.
Oh, you're telling me. It's all right. We'll win some money on the punt. So let's talk a bit about State of Origin. I made this comment in our Discord a couple of days ago, and I was like, I feel like the hype's not there for Game 2. Like New South Wales is just so sour and shitting on their team. More people are going to talk about how it went instead of how it could go. There's fucking nothing happening.
It's very, yeah. They always say like, "Oh, Queensland just get Origin and everything." I just think they care more about it. Than
They
New
really
South
do.
Wales.
I was right. I was right. You probably
really
live near you, Luke. Out near
Ah.
Penrith, bro.
Yeah, with all the Samoans. Yeah, there's not much of it. And you just imagine if Queensland win tomorrow, it'd be like nobody caring about Game 3 at all. Not even Queenslanders. So
yeah. And I know quite a few people already have tickets to Game 3 and they're spewing because they thought they'd win Game 1.
yeah, it's the way the weather is at the moment, a cold night on a dead rubber. I couldn't imagine anything worse.
Oh, cold night, dead rubber, heaps of traffic. Everyone's going to be, most likely going to be filthy about it. It's, yeah, think about the scenes, mate. But yeah, there's not much hype going on. So I guess when you look at the team list, for the first time, when was the last time Queensland was favourite to win a game? Queensland $1.42, New South Wales $2.90.
Probably 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Be a while now.
Unless 2019, perhaps.
Yeah, I think 2019.
The Blues won what, 20 and 21?
No, 19. We lost 20. That was the COVID year. They lost in Adelaide. Those ones.
Oh, yeah.
Won in 21, lost in 22. They were back in 23. Yeah, probably 2018. 2019 there was a bit of hype about the New South Wales team.
Yeah.
And I think that was that Cameron Smith's first year out. He retired a couple of years from Origin, a couple of years before he retired from Melbourne. So I think that was it. But
shit. Yeah, it makes sense. Fucking hell. $2.90 for New South Wales. If like you could take Queensland at $2.90 any year, right? They just get Origin apparently, but the Blues, massive outsiders, no Cleary, Teddy's out of form. Fucking hell. Your first choice hooker's not there. It's it's looking grim, but I think they'll put up a good fight. Like I think Game 1, the Blues should have won. Like in a lot of areas, they were dominating. Like if Tuolungi wasn't stopping those tries,
there was a bomb try. Obviously, the Teddy not passing was a bomb try.
Teddy not passing. Frizzell held up.
There's a couple there, and yeah, but it's
dominated the field position.
Yeah, it's Suncorp though. Like they grow a leg, and it's I don't know, man. As I said in Game 1, Brad Fittler as a coach. You see the footage of, I think, like when you see the footage of New South Wales walking across grass barefoot, linking arms as a team, you're like, how the fuck is this guy coaching a professional outfit, yet alone a representative team?
I'm surprised he still does it. I remember when he first did it, I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. That's
quirky, different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's still doing it. I'm like,
yeah.
It's like, remember when the Warriors were doing that breathing bullshit? I don't know if they
they still do it. They still do it.
Still? At first, I was like, oh, pretty cool. I get it. You guys fuck up all the time. Take your breath, reset, get out there. And then now it's like, you guys are fucking weird. Just
and he's also banned the booze this time as well. Like, you can't tell me that New South Wales team got on the piss or something.
New South Wales is lacking chemistry, mate. If anything, it should be.
They don't, and they're not. And looking at them, they're not boozy. They're not a boozy team. Like, they're not a team like you look at like those Panthers players. Maybe none of them probably drink rarely ever. They're not a boozy team. He's banned the booze. I'm like, what? Did they have a big piss up game one? And that's why they lost? Probably not. They're walking on grass without shoes on. But then on the flip side, with Queensland, they've been very relaxed. Like, I thought it was hilarious, but Munster coming out and having a crack at Andrew Johns with his feud with his brother and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's hilarious. But again, very confident and chirpy in their press conferences. And DCE came out and made shots at Moses. Reece Walsh. There's a few. They're very arrogant and cocky, which is very un-Queensland. Like, usually they're very reserved and like play the underdog mentality. It seems all flipped. So maybe that's motivation.
Yeah, maybe. Well, look, they've got the coaching advantage. They've had the minimal changes to their lineup. Spine's still well intact. Yeah, they have a lot of reasons to be confident. Blues are back up against the wall. There's no Latrell. Cleary's not there. Who do you think has to step up for the Blues?
Appy's out as well.
Appy's out. Because like the best players from the Blues in game one are ones they're not like in the game. They're not in the right position. You know, like you can have a second rower have a blinder, but it's not winning you the game.
Nah, it has to obviously be Moses and Luai. It'll be interesting how they play together also, but they can't have bad games because that's probably where, in terms of the forwards, it depends. Again, Brad Fittler has to have a good game. Like, Payne Haas has to play like 65, 70 minutes. You just got to play those big boys and get them rotating through the middle.
I reckon they need to have a blue. They need to fire up because remember before game one, I told you Liam Martin's the only one who's like has a Queensland spirit. Like, he's a fucking Remember that? And he did it. Like, everyone else was a bitch. Like, everyone was just playing so controlled. It was structured and boring, and everyone bitched it. To be honest, it was so safe.
But looking at the lineup again, looks like Hudson Young starting ahead of Cam Murray, which is stupid. Like,
I know.
Already, I'm like, we're on the back foot.
I told you Hudson Young would suck, and he sucked worse than I thought he would. He was terrible.
And there's talks that they're going to swap Robson and Cook. They're going to start Robson.
Oh, really?
Cook. Yeah, like just dumb shit. And then Fittler the other day apparently is swapping Toto with Adokarian because Coates is in, and it's the height thing. I'm like, why are you worrying about
both of them anyway?
Exactly. Stop worrying about what they're doing and trying to set your team up to beat them, not like block them. You did it last year.
The reality is, Coates might only have one or two cracks at a bomb because New South Wales should dominate field position the way they did in game one. You shouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I don't know. So, nothing fills me with confidence at the moment with these guys. The only thing that does fill me a bit of confidence is that NRL can't afford a dead rubber in Sydney.
That's right.
Financially. So there's that theory. And then the fact that Queensland have been a bit more chirpier in going into this game than the first game. That's the only thing that fills me with confidence. Otherwise, we're shot ducks. I think, but the big one, the big one is that for me though is Tommy Turbo. Like, we need fit Tom Trbojevic. If Turbo's underdone again, then it's going to be, what was the point?
I look at it and I think Turbo and maybe Teddy, if he rediscovers some magic, they're the only players New South Wales have who can be the best players on the field. And both of them aren't flying the way they have in the past. So there's a question mark there. They've got those two. Whereas Munster, he tends to do this shit all the time. Did it in game one, but he's capable of some brilliance. So is Harry Grant. Ben Hunt's got a lot of fucking controversy at the moment. And that could either go both ways.
Too.
Like,
that
he
too,
could
actually. That
monster fucking game,
Yeah, I forgot
or
about that.
head noise, right? But
yeah.
he's an old soul. I think he'll be fine with it. And then, Cotter turns on an Origin, Carrigan turns into an Origin. They haven't had bad Origin games yet, those blokes. Somehow Tuolangi figured out how to play rugby league again. Remember, I thought he should have been the worst player on the field in game one.
Yeah.
Based on form and everything this year. He was bloody excellent. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think Reece Walsh, he was good enough, and I think he will be good enough in game 2. The Hammer had a great game one. So, yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. There hasn't been much talk about it. At work, no one's spoken about State of Origin at all.
I think everyone's just given up on it. I think it's
as
New South Wales. I think, honestly, compared to game 1, New South Wales were obviously quietly confident. They had a very good team, and you just watch the game, and I think we're just at a point where we're just so overseeing the exact same disappointment to the point where I was like, well, and then compounded with club teams like Penrith missing all those players last Friday fucking infuriated me more because I was like, how the fuck did we lose the Cowboys? Like that shit too. I'm like, fuck Origin, just get the players into the fucking club team and we can flog the Cowboys with their Origin players. But no, and it happens every year we go through this patch. Like the last 3 years, we have had half our team gutted for these games, and then you had Moses Leota having a kid, and he was out as well. Like we're just so depleted.
You lost players in the off season who,
so who backfill in those positions. So
it only gets harder. I think Huntro's on the money here. I think this is how New South Wales have to win.
Yeah.
I think Turbo's got to be hanging around the ball, and then Teddy's got to be hanging around Turbo. That's how I think it works. But Moses likes to go sideways. I reckon he goes he'll go unders to Turbo a lot. I think we'll see that happening heaps.
Which side is he on Turbo?
They're both on the right.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Yeah,
I think
he'll go short.
Turbo under.
And he'll go short side as well.
Yeah,
he loves going.
What do you think of the Moses selection, by the way?
I wouldn't have done. I would have gone Adam Reynolds, just because again it's Suncorp home ground. Obviously Nico, very hard done by, but you saw the way.
I was driving today, and I had a good thought about it.
Did you?
And I was like, I think he's right not to pick Nico Hines.
Yeah, I think so.
And I know you're not a big NBA fan, but I know some of the lads who are watching this, they'll get this. Nico Hines is very Russell Westbrook-like, meaning he's so involved in everything that the Sharks do that when they win, it's because of him. Like, he's so involved in everything. He plays both short sides, left, right. He's everywhere. Whereas Luai plays left, Cleary plays right. Sometimes Cleary comes over, but they're pretty structured. And Moses is the same. I think it's a good fit. Moses sticks on his side, Dylan Brown sticks on his. So it's like it doesn't impact how they play, whereas Nico's everywhere.
Well, I did say like a month or so ago, I said he's playing well, but I think he's a little bit overhyped as the Nico thing. And I think it did come crashing down in Melbourne when the pressure was on him and it was all, whereas previously, and they got exposed as flat track bullies, which they are.
Yeah.
Cronulla
he hasn't had against good teams.
He hasn't had a game against a big team where I'm going, yeah, that's clutch, whereas to be fair, Moses has led his team to a grand final. Has come up with some clutch kicks.
Yeah.
That's why, again, I like Reynolds, but Nico hasn't. And Cleary definitely has. But, yeah, I didn't mind him not getting picked. As I said from the start, I thought it was he's don't get me wrong, Dalian player of the year, but little bit overhyped, a little bit.
I think if it's a dead rubber, chuck Nico in.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. But, look, fuck. Couldn't give a shit about the Blues, but I think that's a smart thing to do. Set them up for the future, give him some experience. Who knows? It might work out for him. Probably won't, but
yeah,
I can see that happening. All right, let's talk about how you think this game's going to go. What are you thinking?
From betting, how I think the game's going to go. What I like betting on. What do you want to know first? Betting. I think take the New South Wales straight. That's. From a betting point, I have gone them with the handicap. But I think there's value in them straight at 290. I think similar roles reversed. If this is Queensland, even if it was New South Wales, you'd take Queensland at 290. There's not enough convincing me there that they are that short. I think it'll be close and competitive. Again, New South Wales playing to keep series alive, so
they'd be more motivated for sure.
They're going to be up. They're going to be definitely more motivated to win the game, whereas Queensland do have that. Oh well, if we drop it, we go to game 3. But yeah, I'd take New South Wales plus 6.5. Take New South Wales straight. Game 1, I did say the overs, and that was totally against all form and history, and it did go overs. The points is still 36.5, and unless the weather's terrible, I think that's never. But I still think I think that's low. I think the overs are on again here.
Yeah,
both teams have good goal kickers, and that's the thing. Like they're going to miss one kick maybe each for the night.
Like it's 20 degrees tomorrow.
Yeah, and I like the overs. So over 36.5.
It was a bit cold in the evening, but yeah, sunny all day. Good dry track. I like the overs too. I think looking at the makeup of both teams, there's a lot of points. Like Queensland going with Fafita and Nanai, they're not locking teams up. Like they're gonna be a bit explosive. Turbo should be a lot more involved in this one. Moses is playing too. Parramatta don't have low scoring games. Like
they got the worst defense in the fucking comp base.
He can put some points on, but he can let some in.
They can.
Yeah. I think the overs are definitely on. I think Queensland are too short, $1.42. I think that's a bit ridiculous. I think that plays into the psyche of a casual bettor. Queensland, 1 game 1, at home, Suncorp, they grow an extra leg, all this type of bullshit is feeding into the odds. $1.42 is too short. So I think Queensland will win, but I don't think that's a great pick. I wouldn't bet on that at all. 6.5, that's a big fucking line. So I don't like that either. If I was, I'd probably go the Blues 13 plus if I was going to bet. I think they absolutely blitz it or they lose. Like it's
it is make or break.
And they've done
either Lindsay Collins is out jumping Tedesco or today Teddy's putting 3 tries on.
Yeah. Like I can see something ridiculous happening. I could see the Blues going 13 plus, 875 by the way. I don't want that to happen. Or Queensland probably win 1-12. But yeah, Queensland don't have a blowout team. I think the Blues will still dominate the field position. Like the Maroons don't have anyone who makes meters. Like Carrigan makes a lot of meters, but he takes a lot of runs. His work rate is high. Collins fucking doesn't make meters. Tino doesn't make meters. Like they don't have. They got Xavier Coates. Like the good thing about Colo, despite his many errors, like he'll run hard and get you off. Whereas Coates is awful. He's terrible coming out. So and Tuolungi's not that great either. Val Holmes and Hammer, I wouldn't say undersized, but they're fleety in the back line. They're not punching holes. They're not taking shit carries. Reece Walsh he'll try, but he's not going to be very effective. So I think the Blues dominate field position, and if they can click offensively, they can 13 plus them. If their offense, their attack is shit, like in game 1, Queensland probably win in a close one.
Yeah.
So that's 2 I think. But yeah, definitely overs. I'm liking the overs. Because we like overs, that means people are going to score tries. Now, once again, all try scorers are over $2 in this game.
So good.
I was awful picking try scorers in game 1. But, you got to have a crack. You got to share your opinion. So,
Pangai. Remember Pangai?
He scored for the Dogs.
Yeah, he did, actually.
Nice pick up off the ground. So, but who do you think scores tries in this game?
I think the forwards are where the points are. Like, I know, like, Toto $3 is not bad, but if he's playing outside Crichton will never pass him the ball like game 1. You take Crichton at 345. If you like Toto, take Crichton because Toto does not get the ball past Crichton. Same for Addo-Carr. Travojevic is going to put the ball under his arm and run more often than pass. They just don't.
He's not passing.
Same for Teddy. Yeah, same for Teddy. Unless he learns his lesson, you saw game 1 again, he's not going to pass. So if you avoid the wingers, which is crazy for New South Wales, if you like Crichton, Turbo, and Teddy, you're getting between 345 and 380.
I reckon the second rollers are on.
Second roll is exactly where I was leaning. Someone who doesn't mind a little dart from dummy half though, Reece Robson.
Yep, that's true.
He loves it. He loves a little duck over. But again, I'd take Martin at 625.
Yep.
I think there's value.
Well. Hudson Young, there's a risk that he doesn't start. He could play limited minutes.
Yeah.
So, but then again, can Liam Martin score 2 Origin games in a row? That's what I question with these things because you never know. Like the Hammer, is he going to score 2 games in a row?
But for Queensland, it's the opposite. I feel like the wingers are the ones who are going to score.
Yeah.
They seem to have that. They seem to always, if they get a sniff,
they're expansive.
Game 1, they barely get an opportunity. When they get down there, they link up and they make that outnumbered play, and their wingers go over untouched. Or in Cobbo's case, when Teddy slips and takes out Luai, for example.
Yeah. Well, if you think about the plays, right, for Queensland, if they go back line and Reece Walsh is involved, because I watch every fucking game, and especially the Broncos games, if Reece Walsh goes left, he goes short. So that means your left center's on, which is the Hammer. If he goes right, he goes long, which is Xavier Coates.
There you go. Little insight.
So Herbie scores a lot of our fucking tries.
Yeah, he does.
So Cobbo.
Yeah.
And that's all mostly Reece Walsh. Goes short when he goes left, goes long when he goes right. I think it happened in State of Origin. The Cobbo one, he went long.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, that. So I think that those two, I wouldn't say that they're value, but I do think they're the 2 of the 3 shortest try scorers in the game. The Hammer and Coates for Queensland. Even Munster at 325. Fuck, I think he's got to have a big game. He was shit in game 1.
Yeah.
Surprised they won because he was quiet. And he was terrible again when he played for Melbourne too. Fucking loser.
He was, yeah.
So, what's Huncho got? Huncho's thinking the Frizz or Payne Haas. I think for the Blues it is going to be a forward. I do like the Blues forwards to score.
I can see that.
Yeah, I think there's some value in there. I don't know about Payne, but
Payne's $13.
Junior, Stefano's $13. Do you reckon Stefano gets much game time? Do you reckon he plays 20 minutes or
I don't think. Fittler. Probably. He'll probably play more than Payne Haas somehow, knowing Fittler.
Carrigan and Flegler are $15. Makes sense. They don't fucking score shit all.
Well, Carrigan literally, you're backing Carrigan. He's the new Alex Twal. He was the next in line for the throne. He's inherited it. So 15,
what's he at, like 70, 80 games or something?
70 something games that try. And he's 15-1 to get an Origin try. Nah. You watch now, LA my words here, and you'll fucking score tomorrow night.
I think, maybe Tino. Remember when Tino's in Melbourne, he'd score heaps of tries?
Yeah. Even Titans, he still scores plenty of tries.
He does. Yeah, that's true. So I think there's some value there. I think, what's his name? I can see Harry Grant doing some sneaky shit.
Tino has 4 tries this year in 13 games for the Titans. Doesn't mind a try. In fact, he's scored his last 2 games for the Titans.
There you go.
I think Harry Grant,
he could do something filthy. He can get a bit
Harry
cheeky.
Harry Grant's always good from dummy half too.
Yeah. I think either Harry Grant or Ben Hunt. Well, they should have a crack. But it comes down if we can get some field position. So, all right, let's talk player of the match. So, Reece Robson won the last one. I think he was at $23 then as well. $23 once again, I think. Not Reece Robson, fucking Ruben Cotter.
Yeah.
Ruben Cotter. Munster's $5.50. Walsh somehow $7.50. Cherry at 10, Teddy at 10, Moses at 12. So they're your top 5. Who do you think wins player of the match and why?
I've gone Martin. I've gone wide.
I think you have to factor it in. If the Blues win, who's going to get player of the match? And if Queensland win, who gets it that way? So
I think, so if New South Wales win, for me, there's 3 picks. It's Teddy, Moses, or Martin.
I don't mind Cookie for New South Wales because if they win, it's up the middle.
Yeah.
And I think Robson will play some just like as an extra prop or lock. I think he'll spend some time there because Cookie should play 60 minutes, and you're not going to play
Sure.
Robson just 20, right? He's big enough
Well,
to play.
my worry is they will be too busy frothing over Robson's debut and how he's playing and he's doing amazing. That's my worry. Like, if New South Wales win, he would have to play pretty decent. They're going to be looking at that going, what a debut by him compared to Cook, who probably played amazing. Whereas I think Martin, as you talked earlier, is probably the only player where people like he puts his body on the line
crazy.
and they're going to
he's fucking nuts.
They're going to fap over him because he's going to get out there and do a ton of work. And yeah,
he doesn't run; he sprints all the time.
He does.
He's a psychopath. I think if you're looking at long odds, right? Oh, actually, I was thinking if someone scores 2 to 3 tries, there's a chance that they could get it. Or if they're just brilliant. Even though the Hammer didn't get it, but he didn't do much but score those tries. Like if there's someone cutting people up.
For super value, I like Frizzell if you want to go wide. He just puts in a shift, like he can get it, but there's not.
I think even Cam Murray's a good shot. I think he should play 60 minutes.
If he starts. If he doesn't, no. Because, I don't think he'll play as many minutes as he needs to play. That's why it's like Martin, because, again, Martin could play 45 minutes and people just froth over him.
That's true. He's very impactful.
Yeah. Even the other week, and because he had the head knock, he's overcome an injury again. It's got a fairy tale about a story.
Yeah.
Even against the Roosters the other way, he was a man possessed. Like, he was shooting out of the line, and that's what got him KO'd when he shot out of the line into Luiago's hip. But, I don't think I like the value in it. He was player of the match if New South Wales won game 1.
Yep. No, I agree. I'm liking Carrigan. Carrigan warms into a series. I think last year he was decent game 1. Game 2 and 3, he was fucking monstrous. I think, Cotter probably won game 1 last year as well, I think. Like, he was very good early towards the end of the series. Cotter's game 1 last year, I think he played 80 minutes in the middle.
That's crazy.
Bonkers. But Carrigan ultimately had better games 2 and 3, won player of the series for Queensland, even though it should have been Ponga. I'm with young Honcho over here. I think Carrigan at $15 is a good value. Hasn't played for a couple of weeks. He'll be fresh. Absolutely fresh. I was going to talk about the player markets, but fuck, I don't even know how to calculate that shit, so I don't even know how that works. But what are you thinking of a multi? So Sportsbet are running their second chance multi, same game bullshit. If you get it wrong, you get a bonus bet back.
I'm going to be very, very ambitious here.
Of course, you should. It's free money.
Thank you. In terms of try scorers, going my 2 dummy halves, so Harry Grant and Reece Robson, into New South Wales 1 to 12. I think I had. Where did it go? New South Wales 1 to 12, paying 100 to 1. What have you got?
I'm building it right now. I'm starting with Val Holmes, score 10 points. I'm thinking he scores a try. I'm thinking Coates bomb, catches it, sends it back to Val Holmes, dives over in the corner. Never got one of these predictions right, by the way. No. So I'm thinking that. I'm liking X to score, Hammer to score. We're going in. I just haven't decided on my forward for New South Wales to get over. But you can't put player of the match in there, can you?
No, not new multi. I'll tell you who's good for they got these markets now, first try scorer, and then they've also got first, second, or third try scorer. $5 Val Holmes to score one of the first 3 tries is pretty good.
He normally does.
He's record, as it says on Sportsbet, he's 4 out of the last 5 because Suncorp's first try scorer. So
Valentino. I did a multi on the first, second, third try scorers on the weekend. I think I got 3 out of 5. I was like, fuck, didn't play him as singles because I'm an idiot. We take the overs, over 36.5. And I'm just going to decide on a try scorer for the Blues because I'm leaning Liam Martin, but then I was like, what are the chances of him scoring 2 Origin games in a row? But I do think someone in the New South Wales forward pack's going to get over. I might take the Frizz. I'll take the Frizz. So I'm looking at $57.
Not bad.
3 try scorers, homes to score 10 points, and totals to go over.
Lock it in.
Let's do it. Let me just put 1,000 on it before I forget. It's only up to $50. I'll just have to put 50. Sorry.
Take my money.
Take your money. All right, so let's see how State of Origin goes. Let's quickly talk about the NRL round. How many games of NRL have we got this week?
7.
7?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Let's get amongst it. All right. Your first game's on Friday night. So Thursday, we've got nothing on. Friday night at 8 p.m, Dragons versus the Warriors at Wynn Stadium. Dragons 275, Warriors at 145. We've got the Ben Hunt saga. Warriors deserving favourites, I think, in this one. Everybody's second favourite team. Lineup looks strong as fuck. What do you think happens here? Does Ben Hunt even play?
No, he doesn't. We wish you could bet that. Taking the Wires -6.5. I just think Dragons are fucked. Like, anything and everything's going wrong in that club at the moment. So,
yeah.
I think, like, I did hear something today. I reckon the players are really turned on Ben Hunt, and they have been for a while. It's just been kind of covered up. If you look at the barbecue gate, he wasn't invited to the Paul Vaughan's barbecue. He was one of the few that weren't.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The Paul Vaughan barbecue, he wasn't one of the people invited. Then you had also the boycotting of the awards last year. He wasn't told by the teammates that they were doing it. So don't think he's as popular with his teammates. He's obviously, they support him and stuff, but I think this is probably going to piss them off. So distractions and everything. I think the Wires will get it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Taking the Wires, I reckon they'll 13 plus them, to be honest. Like, the Dragons have some young talent, but when things are bad, they're so bad. Like,
yeah,
Sloan is the new Rocks or Diamonds. But where the hell's Amon? He's on the bench, but he'll start if Ben Hunt doesn't play.
Yeah,
that's a little bit of disruption. So yeah, I'm liking the Wires to dominate that one. Up the Wires. On Saturday, we've got the Dolphins versus the Eels. Para 155, Dolphins at 245. God, the Dolphins were shit last week.
The Dolphins that I thought at the start of the year is now here. Like, this is the Dolphins we thought. Everyone thought at the start of the year they just don't have any depth. It's starting to come through.
But their team's not too bad this week. But up against Parramatta, I think Moses should back up from this one. Parramatta were great last week. Motherfuckers. Bloody Gutho. He's so good, that guy.
Yeah, he's for such a knob, though. It kills me.
He's so good, and consistent effort. He stops a whole lot of tries, sets them up, scores them. He's just not on the same level as the elite fullbacks, but I think he's really good. When he finally retires, they're going to be fucked. Dolphins Para, what are you thinking? This game is at Sunshine Coast as well.
Eels cover this line easy.
Yeah?
Eels going to run now. Eels are going to, because they haven't had the buys. They're in 8th now. Remember people writing them off a few weeks ago? They're in the 8. Dolphins are slipping out of the 8. I think this is where they start to slip back more. Para have the best attack in the comp.
Yeah, really?
So, yeah, 392 points scored. And they've only had the one bye. The next best in the comp is the Rabbitohs at 382. So they've actually got a better attack than the Rabbitohs this season. It's just their defense has been a bit how you going. But even their defense, they've only conceded 5 more points than South, for example. So they're actually not that bad. But they're now starting to, and I think, the Dolphins have 363 points conceded. It's one of the bottom 4 or 5 defenses. And recently they've been getting some scores put on them, and I think they'll do it again here, Para. So
I'm going to take Parramatta 31 or more points, $3.40.
Oof. Value.
Fuck dollars. All right. Next game, Panthers versus Newcastle, 5:30 out at Bluebet Stadium. Penrith at $1.28. The Knights at $3.75. The Knights were fucking shit last week. I can't believe they lost that game. After they played like excellent against Brisbane. I thought that was quite impressive.
Yeah.
And they sucked last week. Fuck me. Whereas Penrith absolutely depleted. I thought the effort was definitely on show. I think they were quite strong, but obviously impacted by Origin. What are you thinking here? Knights unders, Penrith to cover?
You've got both my bets lined up nailed there. I think Penrith cover the 10.5 very, very much comfortably. And then also the points, Knights points is 14.5. It's literally the same line as Penrith had every week. And
do you think there's a risk Penrith rest some of these Origin guys, or?
Nah, I feel like if they won last week against the Cowboys, they'd be more inclined to. But the comp's pretty tight at the moment. Like literally, they're only 2 points ahead of 7th. Like their for against is amazing, which is worth probably nearly 2 points. But this period here, they want to probably stay consistent and stay close to the Broncos. So yeah, I'm taking Penrith's cover here.
Yeah,
and again, they're just these for the last 3 years have never really ever rested players. So
they're young; they'll be right. I'm taking Penrith to cover as well. I swear to God, if I hear Battle of Brookie and that bullshit, because
that's overrated.
If I hear that again, I'm going to start trading hands like it's on. We've got the Storm versus the Eagles at Amy Park, 7:35 on Saturday night. Turbo shall not be backing up. We can guarantee that. But both teams named relatively strong. Melbourne at $1.25. Manly at $4. Sheesh. What do you think happens in this one?
Manly, I got Melbourne.
Win, loss.
They are. I got Melbourne to cover. This is a revenge game. They played each other early in the season, and Manly put on a clinic against them at
they bashed them. That was physical as fuck. Yeah.
And I think Melbourne are going to go, this is our... And also, I think they're just starting to go on a bit of a... I know they dropped the ball. They have that shit game in them, but they were very solid against the Tigers and very solid against Cronulla. So,
yeah.
I just think in Melbourne, I don't think they've lost a game. Oh, no, they lost to South. Oh, that was Magic Round. Yeah, they haven't lost.
They were awful last week too. They were just dropping everything.
Yeah.
I know they were missing some players, but Jesus, I expected them to be better.
Yeah, they're literally their form. They've got a win against the Dolphins, who we just talked about, was shit. They put 58 on them, but they lost the Knights the week before. They've actually only won 2 of their last 7 or something. Like they're not playing that crash hot.
Yeah.
So
they pumped Canberra, and that was Turbo's audition.
Yes.
And they pumped the Dolphins, flat track bullies.
Yes.
So yeah, they haven't beat. The only good teams they beat are Parramatta and Melbourne this year. Parramatta were terrible at the start of the year, and they were probably that Melbourne game. Yeah, they were so physical, but you can't do that twice. Like you can't dominate Melbourne like that. So Melbourne were better prepared for this one. I think they're 13 plus them, so I'll take Melbourne and cover the line here. We on, boy. Hey, my boys. Let me check my calendar. What am I doing on Sunday? Because the Brisbane Broncos at Suncorp. I've been to the Titans. We're at the 2:00 game. Shit. That's going to be nice and sunny. What's the weather like? Sunday at 2 p.m. 25 degrees. We're going to get expansive, baby. Walsh will back up. Carrigan's going to go. Payne Haas will only play 25 minutes tomorrow night.
He'll be fresh.
That's just a captain's run for him. But how crazy is it that the Titans also have 3 forwards playing Origin?
Yeah. It's for a team that's the faders in terms of second half.
Yeah.
They're having a good season, though, I guess. But yeah.
I know. What do we have? Total points lines 47.5 in this game.
Yeah.
I think there could be 60 points in this one, but Brisbane have had some pretty low scoring games. But up against the Tits. Last time they played, it was 69 points they scored in that game.
Yeah, and you were down at half. This was the start of the Titans fading in the second half. You were getting beaten at half time. And I think right on half time or something, it was like a chip and chase that fucked up and you scored off. Like you guys only had one try. Like it was even close, like bigger margin at half time until
that was the Reece Walsh charge down or some shit.
Yeah.
And then yeah. So I think that there should be points in this one, but what are you taking? What are you thinking?
I've gone Broncos to cover the line. I think another play. One thing with the Broncos is their defense, but if you look on paper, they do concede points. But then you've seen games where they look pretty solid when they defend their line, but it's a weird one because the Knights did give them a run their previous game, and the Warriors did 2 weeks ago. So
the Knights, I think we underestimated the Knights. There was an overconfidence there for some reason. And like we've done it 4 or 5 times this year. We just click into the last 20.
Yeah.
Like we're capable of gutsing it out, but in those games we don't cover the line. Yeah. Whereas if you're up against stiff opposition, we tend to step up for those games. Like we're better prepared. Yeah. Penrith were better prepared, even though we lost by 11. We got dominated, but we were good. We were ready for that one. Melbourne, we were up for it. Manly, we fucking fisted them. We parrot out in Darwin. Gold Coast, that was a shit game, but we clicked on in the second half. Canberra, we got jumped. The Tigers, we got redemption because they always seem to beat us. The Dolphins, we were ready for a grind. The Dragons, it was close until we absolutely fed them late. Cowboys gave it to them, and we were lucky against Penrith. So, yeah, I don't know. I do like the overs as my best bet. I don't know if we can 13 plus them or do we win in the last 20 minutes again. So, a bit concerned about that. In good news, Kurt Capewell's out, so Piakura has actually been playing decent in the last couple of weeks, so he gets a start. But yeah, it'd be an interesting one. I do like some points to be scored in this. I'm going to go second half overs because we know what the Titans are like in the second half.
Don't show up.
Second half points, what is it? 24.5.
5 tries.
5 tries. Nice sunny day. It should open up. What happened? There was 36 scored when they versed Souths in the second half. 24 when they played the Dogs. Against Newcastle, there was 48 points scored in the second half in the Titans game.
Fucking hell.
And then when we last versed them, there was 55 points scored in the second half. So, yeah, I'm taking second half. Overs, 24.5, baby. Anything you're taking that I may have missed?
Nah, just the cover. Broncos cover line.
Broncos a cover. All right, we got South v the Cowboys. It's at Suncorp as well. The hell's this? Back to back. Sickening.
Double header.
We'll take that. South's $1.37. Cowboys $3.10. Latrell's out, but Cody's in. Cowboys been a bit sneaky lately. Sneaking a couple wins. Penrith, Melbourne. Sheesh. That's good to have in your resume. But yeah, tough to get a read on these fuckers. Drinkwater's been amazing. Townsend's still shit. Didn't have a great game. Tamalolo came back. He looked terrible at the start. Figured it out later. I do like that they're playing this Finifawaki guy because he normally only plays the last 20 minutes and he's fucking jacked full of energy, which is what they need. But it looks like Cotter hasn't been named. He's on the reserves, I guess. Their origin players are on the reserves. But
he'll bring him in. They have to. They got to keep winning. This is literally last year. These games helped them. This year they're trailing. Their for and against is pretty shit as well. So they're really 2 wins from the 8. So they need to win these games. They drop these games and it just gets very difficult.
South's only won 1 out of the last 4 games.
Yeah,
and that was that comeback from when the Gold Coast shitted in the second half.
Which is funny because they were really starting to be talked up as genuine premiership threats after. Yeah.
What are you taking here? Huntro's
I'm taking unders, under 44.5 in this game.
Ooh.
I think I know the line is trending overs, and that's why I'm going. Because I think the public are all going to be saying these guys can't defend. And to be fair, they can't. If there is also any value at all, it's Alex Johnson anytime. Get on the Johnson tries. Because the one thing Penrith did was bomb a couple tries on that left edge the other night. And then there was one try they scored off a scrum, which was a training drill.
Yeah.
So that's South's left edge.
But was that late in the first half?
Yeah, like it was way too easy. And I think if Penrith are going to do it, we'll imagine what Souths could do.
Yeah.
So get back on the AJ try train, get on his hat trick. This is the game. If he's going to go over, he'll score a hattie. Whereas again, Cowboys for me, they've just run into Penrith with no players, and Melbourne they caught napping. But before that, I can't go away from the Tigers. The Tigers fucking pumped them and parabeat them. So
yeah, that's true. I do like the Cowboys to cover, but I do like Johnson to score because Semi Valame is on that right wing now. Felt's playing on the left.
Yeah,
he's an explosive athlete, but doesn't make the smart reads. Nick from Australia, how are you, mate? Luke's a big fan of your TikToks. South Cowboys, is that at a core stadium? Fucking NRL.com. Leading me astray. All right, if it's at a core, AJ all day, baby. Thanks for the update, bro. All right. I still like the Cows. I think they'll do something. 8.5. Season's on the line pretty much every game. Rabbitohs off the blow a little bit. Seeming a bit average as of late. And then we'll see if Cam Murray backs up after Origin. We've got the Roosters versus Raiders, 6:15 at Allianz Stadium. Ugh. Mate, I should be doing my laundry at that time, but I got to watch this stupid game. Roosters $1.60, Canberra Raiders $2.35. Did you hear the rumor about the Roosters being favourites to sign Ben Hunt?
Yeah, yesterday. Fucking hell.
How?
Oh, man, how would they sign Spencer Leniu? And they go, oh, it's because Warrior Hargroves. They fucking re-signed all the players. Now, because Hunt may be going, we'll let Matt Lodge go. They're not even paying half his fucking contract. Like, the Warriors are fucking sticking up the other half. So they're like, we'll let Matt Lodge go for Ben Hunt. I'm like, fuck, that adds up.
Yeah, I'm like, you're letting someone go. It's interesting. Raiders, they were on, performing quite well, and they're fucking awful against the Warriors last time out. Jesus Christ, that was bad. Poor Croaks, 300.
That was for me. I was happy to see that. Like, they could have played him the week before against the Tigers and won by 2 points. Instead, they rested him. And fuck, they were bad. Apparently, that was like the biggest game in Canberra since like they won the comp back in like the 80s and early 90s. Like, that was like their biggest thing. And that's what they dished up, which again, they're fucking frauds. They are. They're fucking Ricky Steele is the biggest fraud of a coach.
Dog.
He is.
The Roosters are in shambles. They beat Newcastle last week, but I wouldn't say that they played good. Newcastle was shit. That was a crap game, that one.
Yeah.
I did not like that game one bit. I actually don't like this game. I don't like the time slot. 6:15 is weird on a Sunday. I don't like either team. So I'm just not going to bet on it, I'll watch it, of course, but I hate everything about these teams. Jack Wyden, he's not playing good anymore because no one's talking about him leaving.
Yeah, nah.
He's not playing.
The only wins this year for Canberra have come when they've been under the pump. They've just like pulled a win from their ass, and Riggy's gone into the press conference like a hero. There's nothing in this game that motivates them. Nothing that's like. I've gone the unders, just under 44.5.
You and Uncle Nick.
Yeah.
Uncle Nick on the unders. Yeah, I can see that. These guys suck, honestly. Like, the Raiders, they got Fogarty. He's their best player at the moment. It doesn't make sense.
No. Goal kicking as well for the Roosters. How you going?
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah.
Who's kicking for him? Was it that... was Sandon Smith kicking for them on the weekend?
No, Keary kicked for them.
But then he got,
but he's cleared that jaw. But then Sandon Smith kicked after him. But again, Luke Keary's not going to set the world on fire with his goal kicking.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Roosters attack's bad.
Just can't put a finger on it. Like, for the depth they've got and the quality, it's just unbelievable how they're not
How about old mate Angus Crichton? He went on that trip, and he's never been the same again.
Yeah, he went on a trip, all right.
Yeah,
yeah, he hasn't.
He sucks.
He's just yeah.
I don't even think he's got a line break or like he sucks.
They just look disinterested, unfit.
He aged 10 years. Like him and Nathan Brown, you couldn't tell them apart. Like they're playing the same.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know what his contract's like, but he's not fulfilling it. I'll tell you that.
No.
They moved Satilli back on the edge. He was playing in the middle while Radley was out. So Radley's back. I think the only reason to watch Roosters game is to watch buddy JWH lose his mind. He's entertaining to watch.
He is. He's in that old age part of his career now. He's trying to make sure these young guys leave him alone.
Yeah. Tupou's got a beard now. I thought that was pretty cool. That's a good scene. Do you reckon they got buyer's remorse on Brandon Smith?
Yeah.
Massively. Or do you reckon they're like, we can still get the best out of him? Or...
No. The guy literally played his career behind Cameron Smith and Harry Grant. Like, he hasn't exactly gone there to prove a point. He's won a comp. I don't think he's driven by winning. I think he's enjoying the lifestyle in Sydney and the money. The rumours are out that he loves a bit of a slap. So I like a fellow degenerate. So I think definitely they got buyers and all. But I think they're going to be very quick to move him on if they feel that way as well.
Yeah. What have we got going here? Huncho reckons Crichton's never returned from Europe. So he's still there.
Yeah, his head's there. Yeah, right.
And Uncle Nick's got he foresees an angry biff between JWH and Big Red. I do like Big Red though, Horsburgh.
Yeah, same. Like him?
You guys look similar.
Yeah.
But even he's slowed down a little bit. He made quite a bit of noise before Origin 1, and then he's...
It was the game that he didn't get named, game 1. Like, first game before game 1. He fucking killed it through the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
He played lock or something that game.
Yeah. They got back rolls all over the place, these blokes. So they got Kotrick on the bench. Strange. Bit of Ricky magic happening there.
Fucking fraud.
But, you know, Rapana gets a HIA or something. Like, he doesn't finish many games. He'll get sin bin or something. But head knock, sin bin, we shall see. But, yeah, I'm not really excited about that game. Like, I'll watch it, but fuck me. But I'm pleased that the Broncos are playing this year. The NRL have to get a solution to these bloody buys. I hate them. Honestly. There's so many buys. It sucks.
It does. I think they just... Oh, like, for me, you just... Every team goes from week 1 to week 17. Buy. And then, I don't know, stack a heap and then put the rest... I don't know. It's got to be a better way to do it. It's also skewed the competition because, like, Para didn't have their first... Or South didn't have their buy.
I don't know why they give teams points for a buy. Just don't give them anything.
Yeah. So then it's a true, yeah.
Like, why does that happen? Why do you get points for a buy? Like, just, it all balances out at the end. So why do you have to give them points?
Exactly.
Anyway, I'm not in the NRL. I'm no Abdo. I can't think of the solution. In my mind, I was like, what if they just made some teams play twice a week? Whack them in on a Wednesday and then make them play Sunday.
They'll go down
and then give them a long turnaround.
With the RLPA. They'll go down a treat.
And then give them an incentive. You can earn double the points. So you can have potentially 6 points in a round.
Yeah, right. Okay. We'll see how that goes.
Then you test your depth, mate. That's what I'm talking about. Rugby league. But no. Is there any other news happening in rugby league circles at the moment that we may have missed?
No, just Ben Hunt wanting out.
Hunt. Flanagan signs, Ben Hunt wanting out. Firstly, which side of the fence are you on? You reckon he just signed his extension not too long ago. Do you reckon he should see it through, or are you one of the people that say he should be allowed to leave because the Dragons management is fucked? Or?
He should be allowed to leave, but he should have done it quieter. I think doing this all public isn't a good thing. I think if he wants to leave, have that conversation, and even if it's end of season, like he agrees, right, end of season I'm going, because I think he's going to the Titans. I think they've been talking to him, but not the public way he's gone about.
Wants to win a comp though.
Yeah, Titans ain't going to win the comp there. Where
could be the Cowboys, perhaps.
Cowboys, what? They're going to move Cotter and Robson on. Like, where is he going to play at the Cows or take Chad Townsend's spot?
Yeah, well, Townsend's been rumoured to be shopped around.
True.
When Luke Brooks said he wasn't going to sign up, so
I think he's left his comp run late, to be honest. Like,
he has. Well, he's 32 now. He probably has 3 years in him. 1 or 2 of those would probably be good.
If he really wanted to win a comp, like his best chance, honestly, I'm not biased, would be take a massive pay cut and go to Penrith and play dummy half. If he played
Brisbane and played dummy half.
Or Brisbane, yeah. But again, you reckon the coach is going to get rid of his son? No, probably win a comp.
Play Billy at bloody prop. Who gives a fuck? Just
get
us
like, just go there, and that's your problem. Or even the Roosters.
Or even the Dogs. The Dogs will have a good team in 2 years.
No. They've said that for years. They've been the biggest.
You, out of everyone, should know the feel-good 5-year plan. You just got to give it some time.
Yeah, but you can compare it to Penrith. Penrith at least played football that looked promising. These guys are just... The tries they conceded against Cronulla were awful through the middle. Now, they keep blaming injuries, but they look, again, worse than they did last year and the year before. Again, when I thought it was impossible last year, they look worse. They look worse.
Money's a speed hump.
Oh,
he just gets isolated all the time. They just let him tackle people one-on-one.
He's taken his money and gone. Like, those Chinese dinners, mate.
I'll tell you. I'm glad we don't have to talk too much about the Dogs because they're pretty shit this year. But who do they get next year? So Kickout will be back. Crichton's there.
He'll kick out back in a few weeks.
Oh, is it a few weeks?
Yeah, they'll get Crichton at fullback. But again, I don't know about him at fullback. Like, he'll be okay, but I don't think he's going to set their world on fire.
The problem's still in the halves.
The halves, they need,
If you get Ben Hunt at 7, move Burton back to 6.
But then you're paying how much for Hunt, how much for him, plus Reed Marnie, plus Stephen Crichton.
That's a $4 million spine.
Kick out on the back row, mate. There's no fucking money. That team's going to be very skinny. Addo Carr's on huge money. Like, it's a very... Yeah. It'd be a very skinny... Like, players like Jackson... Not Jackson. What's that back row's name, that young fella?
Preston.
Preston, yeah. Jacob Preston. Like... Those kind of players are going to have to let go. That'll ruin them. Like, he's a gun. That's someone that should be just invested in developing. And,
he's excellent.
But again, depends how much they get Ben Hunt for. He won't go cheap. Like, and I just don't think St. George will let him go to a Sydney club. I think they'll just go Queensland because he wants to get out. So,
it's true. Tigers will give him 1.5, I reckon.
Fuck.
It's like, how important is a comp anyway? You know, he's had great state of origin moments. His career's been excellent.
He won a World Cup like 3-4 months ago. He's
1.5 million a year. I reckon they'll give him. They'll give him a $4.5 million contract. The Tigers.
It's crazy.
So I don't know. We shall see. Whatever it is, who gives a fuck? Go Queensland. 13 plus. Oh, the Blues 13 plus. Bit of value there. 8.75, but we shall see. All right, let's wrap this fucking thing up. These beers are getting to my head. I'll speak to you next week. For the lads in the chat, appreciate y'all for helping us, keeping it busy. Remember to support your local. If Carlton Drive's still on special, go get some. Have some in the morning if you don't have any at the moment. Pick it up on the way to work. Knock a couple back and then go do God's work. We'll see you lads next week.
See you guys.